go. March 3rd, 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. After we've made a surrender, the drink problem is out of our hands and in the hands of God. The thing we have to do is to be sure that we never reach out and take the problem back into our own hands. Leave it in God's hands. Whenever I'm tempted to take a drink, I must say to myself, I can't do that. I've made a bargain with God not to drink. I know God doesn't want me to drink, and so I won't do it. At the same time, I say a little prayer for the strength needed to keep the bargain with Him. Am I going to keep my end of the bargain with God? I will try to grow in this new life. I will think of spiritual things often, and unconsciously I will grow. The nearer I get to the new life, the more I will see my unfitness. My sense of failure is a sure sign that I'm growing in the new life. It is only struggle that hurts. In sloth, physical, mental, or spiritual, there is no sense of failure or discomfort. With struggle and effort, I am conscious not of the strength, but of the weaknesses, until I am really living the new life. But in the struggle, I can always rely on the power of God to help me. I pray that I may see signs of my growth in the new life. I pray that I may always keep trying to grow. Good. So, when they're talking about is that you're comfortable whenever you're living in sin and you're living, it's like I said, when you're living in sloth and when you're living in your mental anguish because you're used to being there. So it's comfortable. But whenever you're trying to live a better life and you feel that struggle because you're not perfect, and sometimes we go back and forth, but whenever we keep on trying to do the next right thing, it gets easier and easier, and the less you'll struggle, the longer you keep doing it. You know what I mean? And the more it'll just become a way of life to get up, say your prayers, do your morning meditation, go to a meeting, call your sponsor, not think about drinking and using. You know what I mean? Like, it'll eventually just become like second nature. Sorry, I was reading that to Neil in the shower because he has to read it before he goes to work. But it's true. Like, the longer I stay sober and the more I work on myself and addressing like issues that I have inside me, like with the way I feel about myself, or the way I like lack motivation to do things, or the way I seek validation from others when I'm feeling insecure, the more I work on those things and the more I wake up every morning and practice the same thing. Repetition, you guys, repetition. I'm telling you, it gets easier and easier, and I get stronger and stronger each day. Like, this helps me so much, just jumping on here and reading with you guys and then seeing your comments after you see my videos and read it. You know, it just helps me because I get to interact with you guys, and then I get to interact with my other sober friends. And so it's just, it really, really is such a blessing to have others to help me go through this battle, you know. If I had to do this all on my own and try to do this, I could not, you guys, because I have tried so many times to get sober on my own and do it by my own self-control. Good morning, Avalon. How are you doing? I see your comment. How cool. So I was just talking about how I just read the AA thought for the day, and what it was talking about is how we feel comfortable when we're in like our sin, like when it's easy to do those things because we've done them for so long, and we've done that behavior, so it's easy. But once you start practicing doing the right thing and doing it every day, then what becomes uncomfortable is that old way of life. Like today, you couldn't catch me dead down where I used to kick it when I was on drugs. You couldn't catch me dead hanging out with people like that, with those people. When I mean people like that, I mean drug dealers, people that have, you know, guns and knives and houses that are being watched by the police. Like, that is something that I stay far away from now. But when I was in my addiction and when I was actually trying to come out of it and not keep those people, places, and things around me, it was hard because I was used to practicing those behaviors. Now, though, it's like after doing the same thing for, what is it, going on almost 3 years in July, then, excuse me, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to set you up. doing the same thing over and over again for 3 years, it's finally becoming a working part of my mind. Like, and that's, so now I understand what they're saying when they say that in the big book about how when we practice doing good behavior, it gets easier and easier, you know? I know. I think the same way, and it's like, it makes me feel like I cannot even believe. Like, I honestly think about this a lot. I think, I cannot believe that I am alive. I cannot believe that I'm able to form freaking sentences and get myself dressed. I should be a vegetable, you guys, from all the stuff that I did. You know, and I wish I have old pictures, but I wish I had videos to show you guys, because it is so sad and scary to watch myself look like that, be helpless, and be like in another mind. I was in another, like, I would have psychotic breaks, like where I would, let me see, baby, where I would go into another, like, part of my brain, and I wouldn't be present, you know, and I would be talking about stuff from, yes sir, it is, I would be talking about things from when I was like 17 years old. I would be doing like dance routines from when I was a cheerleader when I was in high school, and Neil would tape me, and because I didn't believe it. I was like, no, whatever. Like, what I was doing at that time was I was abusing methadone. I was taking copious amounts of methadone, and I would not get sleep because I would stay up all night long in a nod, and my body would like be going on nothing, and then my brain would just switch into this other area, and I would start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Do you need, well, let's get you dressed. Would you please take a bath? I'm going to go set your bath water, okay? We're going to get you a bath. Yeah, I did too, and what my sponsor calls those is the yets. Like, I haven't done this yet.
Daddy can't get my shoes on, so
okay, I haven't, I'm never going to shoot up. I would never do that. Well, guess what? I did. Oh, I will never, you know, use a used syringe after somebody, did that too. You know, and it just kept on repeating itself over and over again. Like, all the things that I knew I said I wouldn't do, I've done them all, you guys. And it's just like, that's why I think, like, and I would hear that from people that were sober, and I wasn't sober yet. They would say, oh, it's going to get worse. Just give it time. You might not have done it yet. You might not have done it yet. And they were right. And I wish that, you know, I just wasn't ready to hear the message then. I could not grasp the concept then. But now it's like my brain and my mind and my soul, I am ready. I am ready for, you know, a new beginning. I'm ready to conquer new things. You know what I mean? I'm ready to conquer Suboxone and step down off Suboxone and do the damn thing. You know, like, I'm so excited, you guys, to try and do this. And you know what? If I can't do it, that's okay. You know, like, I'm finally, compared to what my life used to be, compared to the drugs I used to put in my body and the route I did, I am living the life. Like, if I've got to take a little piece of a strip every day for the rest of my life, I'm okay with that. But I want to at least give it a try. I want to at least try to get off. You know what I mean? Just to see if I can do it. And if I can't, then I'll try again some other time. I'll get with my sponsor, we'll work harder, and then I'll try again in a year. I just want to give it a shot. You know what I mean? It's important to me to try, because I do want to get my body in shape. I do want to feel better about myself physically, and I want to feel healthy, and I want to be able to be here for my son when he gets older. Yeah. And so I feel like to do that, like, I need to start addressing my weight and working on that. And so I went and got a gym membership on Thursday, and me and my friend are going to start going to the gym when it's crappy outside, and doing the treadmills together, and doing like some dance classes, because they have some classes that they give there. And then on the nice days that it's nice outside, like today, look at it outside, you guys, it's so freaking sunny. So I know, me too. Like, okay, let me think. I was like 170 when I got sober, and that was right after I had my son. And so I have gained 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, almost 50 pounds. So I totally understand. And what I'm going to tell you honestly, what I do is, do you know I have an addiction to food just like I had an addiction to drugs and alcohol. When I put food into my body, if I like that food, if it's something that I've been craving, like Mexican food, it's like I put it in my body and it sets off a craving in my brain. And then I just want to eat and eat and eat and eat. And so I'm trying to like admit my powerlessness over food because I don't want to be a slave to eating all the time. But what it does for me is it gives me this sense of ease and comfort that I don't get anymore because I'm not using drugs, you know? And food does that for me. Like, I can be upset or pissed or depressed, and I can go downstairs and make something really good and just be like so happy. And then I get to see my family be happy when I'm making them food, and they like the way it tastes and it's good to them. That makes me even more happy. So it's just like all these things combined, I have a little problem, you know. But like I said, I'm trying to weigh the pros and the cons. I know. Listen to me. I'm the same way. Me and Nate, we'll be going out and doing stuff, and then we'll go to Arby's. The other day we went to Arby's, and I was picking up curly fries and beef and cheddar. I love their beef and cheddars. And then I get an extra cup of cheddar to dip my curly fries in. And then I got a vanilla shake with it. And I was like, it was so good, you know, and I was so happy. Like, I was a pig in heaven. And I can never imagine, like, not feeling that way about food. Like, I love food. And for me, it's just, like, shows how our malady goes so deep and how the disease of addiction, like, it runs through me, you guys. Like, I can be addicted to anything. And I used to take my fitness, before I had my son, I was addicted to being on a diet and looking skinny and being a certain weight. And it was out. I'm working so hard on trying to not be like that, to not be the extreme, you know? And so that's why it's so important for me to work with a sponsor and work on the inside, from the inside out. You know, one day I'll be able to get everything hopefully on the same page. But right now I'm trying to really, really work hard on what's going on with Nicole and how Nicole feels. And you know what? I'm finally starting to feel like confident in my abilities and what I do at work and when I get on here and talk to you guys. And I think I kind of like might even love myself a little bit. Like, it feels good to be okay with me. You know, and I've never felt like that before. And so it's a pretty big deal that I even feel remotely a touch there, you know. So, because I've always really, really struggled with my self-esteem and self-worth. So, but I'm going to get off here. I've got to go meet my sponsor, and we're going to study and do my homework. And then when I come home, me and my sisters and my mom are doing spring cleaning at my house because it is a mess, and I need their help. So thanks for tuning in, Avalon. I really appreciate it. I wish you lived here so we could hang out, you know, but it's all good. We got each other here on YouTube. I always try to get over to your videos the minute I see you upload them to support you. So I totally understand where you're coming from about Suboxone also. You're doing a great job, and you just keep on doing what you got to do. Stay sober. That's really all that matters, right? So I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.